Hello and welcome to Nltv News. Now this is Johanna Muri and we'll start with the headlines. Nltv clarifies that a decision of Nagaland along with 7 northeastern states accepting centre's decision to make Hindi compulsory in schools up to class 10 is based on facts and evidence stated by issued by Ministry of Home Affairs categorically established that all northeast states agreed upon the decision. Nagaland receives first installment of Rs 377.50 crore revenue deficit grant as expenditure of Department of Expenditure. Union Ministry of Finance releases first monthly installment of post-devolution revenue in deficit grant of April 2022. Nagaland's Director General of Police T. John Longkumar holds first preliminary draft reports meeting at Chumbukedima Police Complex. Inspector General of Police Limiro briefs Longkumar over latest progress. Dimapur Baptist Women's Union organizes social work at District Hospital. Dimapur with a total of 200 participants from 30 different churches under Dimapur participated. America, Britain and other allies agrees to supply new and heavier weapons to Ukraine as Kyiv requests to immediate reinforcement into its struggle against Russia. America has vowed now to let anything stand in its way to supplying weapons to Ukraine with hopes that new weapons will defeat Putin's barbaric invasion. Now the news in details. Union Home Minister Amit Shah on Thursday stated that the 8 states of the Northeast have agreed to make Hindi compulsory in schools up to class 10. Amit Shah, while presiding over the 37th meeting of the Parliamentary Official Language Committee on April 7, stated that 9 tribal communities of the Northeast have already converted their dialect scripts to Devanagari. Apart from this, he added that 22,000 Hindi teachers have been recruited in 8 states of Northeast so far. However, Shah's statement reportedly got the Nagaland state government by surprise and it confronted by saying that no such directive from the centre. Notably, Shavanavas C, Principal Director of School Education of Nagaland, has clarified on April 8 that the School Education Department of the state government has not received any direction or communication from the Government of India as yet with regard to the comment. The director further added that the odds of centre making such a move without consolidation, he stated, "We hope that they won't impose it without consulting the state government." Union Home Minister Amit Shah on Thursday stated that all 8 states of Northeast have agreed to make Hindi compulsory in schools up to class 10. Amit Shah, while proceeding over the 37th meeting of the Parliamentary Office Language Committee on April 7, stated that 9 tribal communities of the Northeast have already converted their dialect scripts to Devanagari. Apart from this, he added that 22,000 Hindi teachers have been recruited in the 8 states of Northeast so far. However, Shah's statement reportedly got the Nagaland state government by surprise and it confronted by saying that no such directive from the centre. Notably, Shanavas C, Principal Director of School Education of Nagaland, has clarified that on April 8 that the School Education Department of the state government has not received any direction or communication from the Government of India as yet. With regard to the comments, the director further added that on the odds of the centre making such a move without consultation, he said, "We hope they will impose without consulting the state government." Union Home Minister Amit Shah, while proceeding over the 37th parliamentary meeting of the Official Language Committee stated that 8 of the northeastern states have agreed to make Hindi compulsory in schools up to class 10. However, Nltv, during a phone conversation with the Principal Director of School Education of Nagaland, Shanavas C, stated that School Education Department or the state government has not received any directive communication from the Government of India as yet with regard to the comment. And there is also another clarification in reference to the news that the 8 northeastern states, including Nagaland, accepting the centre's decision to make Hindi compulsory in schools up to class 10. Nltv would like to clarify that we have neither entertained nor endorsed any fake news, but we only have enlightened the citizens of Nagaland about the Union Home Minister Amit Shah's statement in the 37th meeting of the Parliamentary Official Language Committee on April 7th. It may be noted that Nltv has only quoted the information which the Ministry of Home Affairs have issued in the PIB portal, which stated that all the 8 states of the Northeast have agreed to make Hindi compulsory in schools up to class 10. So it was clear from the Amit Shah statement that Nagaland government has also agreed to make compulsory in schools. However, after a news aired, the Department of School Education of Nagaland tried to save their face by saying that no communication received regarding the matter till now. Some of the media outlets have tried hard to prove Nltv that has been spreading false news, while we only have entertained the news based on evidence and authenticity. It should be clear to everyone that Home Minister gave any wrong information, then it is the duty of Rio government to clarify their position. The big question here is that Rio can confront Amit Shah on the issue and reassure the people of Nagaland that Hindi will not be compulsory in schools of Nagaland in the coming days. Will the Rio government react? If we get answers from Nagaland government, will we update our viewers as well? The Nagaland Pradesh Congress Committee held a meeting with Indian National Congress President Sonia Gandhi, and a press release from NPCC President K. Tire informed that Sonia Gandhi was made aware of issues like electoral corruption, fund misappropriation, delay in peace process, and the state UDA government's loss of value and voice. NPCC accused the UDA government of being responsible for the delay in Naga peace talks. Tire also stated that the voice of the minority has been ignored as the UDA government has left the voice of the Christians speechless. It also claimed that Nagas have already lost work culture, while it's custom, honesty and hospitality that people talk highly while referring to Nagas. It is in danger of being submerged. The INC president reportedly stressed on the need to fight back while preserving the protection and guarding under the Indian constitution. She further expressed that the Northeast, especially Nagaland, is very close to her heart and assured that the stand with the Nagas in fight. The NPCC also assured that it will react out of all people across the state and share concern over the loss of traditional values and faith. Nagaland has received the first installment of Revenue Conflict Grant April 7. The Department of Expenditure, the Union Ministry of Finance, has released the first monthly installment of Post-Devolution Revenue Deficit Grant of Rs 7,103.42 crores to 14 states, including Nagaland. According to state-wise data provided in the statement, Nagaland has received Rs 377.50 crore as the first installment for the month of April. Notably, the grant has been released as per recommendations of the 15th Finance Commission. It may be mentioned that the recommended grant will be released by the Department of Expenditure to the recommended states in 12 equated monthly installments. A meeting of the Parliamentary Committee on Naga Political Issue, which was scheduled to be held on April 9 at 10 a.m., has been rescheduled to 2:30 p.m. However, the venue and the date of the meeting remains to be the same at CM's Residential Complex State Banquet Hall on the 9th of April. The committee member secretary Niba Kruno has requested all elected members of the 13th Nagaland Legislative Assembly, including MPs of both upper and lower houses, to attend the meeting positively. An overground worker of NSCN-KYA militant was beaten to death by villagers in Arunachal Pradesh, Lojting district on Thursday evening. The deceased overground worker has been identified as Wangjo Wangsa of Pongchao village. According to the police resource, the incident took place at Longpong village when the NSCN overground worker went for extortion on Thursday evening. The police has sent the body for post-mortem. According to sources, the villagers denied giving money to Wangjo, resulting in a scuffle between the villagers and the NSCN overground worker. Nagaland's Director General of Police T. John Longkamer on Friday held the first preliminary draft report meeting at Chumukedima Police Complex. The meeting was held for the Nagaland Police Sports Battalion. Notably, Inspector General of Police Liremo briefed Longkamer of the process made so far. Addressing the shortage of teaching faculties in various schools of Peg District, the Peg Students' Union urged the Department of School Education to review the rationalization of teachers in a representation to Commissioner of Secretary School, CSU, and President and General Secretary of CSU, Chakasang Student Union, stated that the union, while reviewing the recent rationalization, saw that in many cases teachers were being transferred to other schools, though they were clear of the side that there were shortage in teachers in their former posting. Chakasang Student Union therefore urged department to review and streamline the procedure of rationalization broadly. Chakasang Students Union has informed the teachers under its jurisdiction whose name had been enlisted by the government for transfer of other schools to refrain from abiding by the stated order until the issue was reviewed by the department. The union requested all concerned teachers to remain in the previous place of posting before the issue is logically settled by the department. Awareness program on waste management was held on Saturday at Zake Satyo Higher Secondary School, Dimapur. Notably, Zake Satyo Colony and Public Ground Chairman Gambura, secretary members, church members and shopkeepers of the locality were all present in the program. Waste Management Chief Amos Izong emphasized on waste management and instructed the people to segregate waste into wet and dry. Izong further directed the people to avoid spitting on walls and streets and urged all to avoid dumping garbages in the drainage.
Zakaseto school, high school day yade aigina chamagurado. Zakaseto colony or public ground colony chairman council GB or member kan bra tagambra dukan sop laga chagade jaigina request kurigina dukandari business kan chutu bra dangorda sop ke anigina yade school la campus de anigina aji social awareness sab saba nimide waste management aro environment do kina saba guna awas oxygen do kina phal guna sob mano sab saba thagibole ase itu nimide chamagura damde amagan ekta tuita point ko do nichor la dukan do nichor bra saba guna rakhile bishi dangor khoda ase guna bi janai dise aro second point do idu letara plastic kan do idu drainage kan nala kan de manuwa nithigilibi tade kan de nifigabi guna morom bra tagan ge janai dise aro idu borde idu letara itu yatela tire la bishi kam gore itu plastic kan tire kan aro ini loha iron kan do mati khundi gina mati la under de nathali bi kona bi tagan ge janai dise idu borde idu try aro weight to gina gorgina tinda charda la togan la machude tuita basket container rakhi dibo guse idu rakhala matlab to try to alag rakhibo aro weight to alag rakhibo noile to DMC kambar sapa guradam de segregation guradam dibi duk na pawo ar ito sob mano kane easy gona kam do hoigina chabo gona bi janai dise idu borde yede public kanbra bi khota council first of all council kanbra kwado tambra kwado bi itia fine lowo chalan lowo idu kwado ini puisa karni nohoi holipi itu sob mano sab saba nimide janai dia karni sab saba thaki jogole sob manibi phal bra kushibra thakibo ar itu Nagaland ket to itu notice lagai nohoi holipi to whole international Nagaland ket hoi jaise yede bra travelers kan tourists kan ar business kan ar ini core visitations kan itu Nagaland itu Naga Hill sawole hornbill laga festivals kan ar Nagala chaga ar core manu kan relative kan sabole hatam di tu Nagaland ket par gona hai itu Nagaland ke to bisi main important hoi jase itu karni itu upor laga authority kan ke holibi itu Nagaland ke to side ele bisi bhal ase kona itu bi janai dia ase ki kole itu Nagaland ke thi sundurta rakhi jogole manugan hatam deura etam o manugan to etam hospitality ase manugan to bisi discipline ase manugan to kau etam manugan ke welcome korble etam mun ake korgina ahe kona takan bra jani jawo itu bra Nagaland ke te important tv high authority kan ke kuigina janai dia ase
इतना मोरम ब्रा डस्टबिन खानो लेबी इतु भिजा खान ना भिजा लगा कचरा अलग और सुखा कचरा अलग तो इन्होंने रखी ले दो प्रॉब्लम न हो और अमान भी अमान इधवन आज सब एम सब हम आएंगे ना इतना ब्रा अमान के भी एक इंस्पिरेशन अमान के हौसला दिया ना इतु निमित्त अमान भी एकदम मन दावर गुना काम एक ही लोग करूँ गुना भावना आसे और इतु काम दो अमीगन एकला बन हो सब मिली से बोले दो पारिबो अरे किधर ना पारिबो
Two-day Pohopoto Interdepartmental Sports concluded on April 8 at local ground Pohopoto. Notably, Tapu team was adjudged the overall champion, while Kucho team won the men's badminton and Yenti team won the badminton mixed doubles. Additional Deputy Commissioner Tiamaran Chang gave away the overall championship trophy along with certificates to the winners of different disciplines. Dimapur Baptist Women's Union organized a social work at District Hospital Dimapur on Saturday morning. Notably, the participants gathered at District Hospital Chapel and kick-started the work after a prayer. It is to be mentioned that a total of 200 participants from 30 different churches under Dimapur took part in the social work. Furthermore, the organizers opined that the objective of the social work was not merely to work, but to build a relationship with one another.
I am Mrs. Kontele Seb. I am the president of Dimapur Baptist Women's Union. Today we have organized a social work here in District Hospital Dimapur, and we have a group of women working here, altogether more than 200 in number, and we have 30 churches involved in today's activity. Aji maiki khan yate jama kurina kam kuri thaka do DBWU laga yearly activity nishina thake idubra ami khan khali ahigina kam kuri hen hoigina idu do relationship building bi ase ami khan yate hospital de kiman bimar manu ase nohoile bi yate doctors khan nurses khan kiman ase ami khan ekjun kane prathana kuriya aro ekjun ge china jana kurigina ami khan kitiaba situation lagile ami khan aro miligina ekjun karne prathana kuribo para itu laga relationship building bi hua karne ami khan iniga ek sal de ek bar nishina miligina social work kurian hoili bi get together kurna pray kuriya laga to encourage kuri itu karne ajibi ami khan 6 to 7 o'clock itu do organize kuri dishe aro ama khan bishi ahigena aji do itu de participate kuri ase so maybe one of the biggest number Amikhan in the past years aigena ahabra at this time do bishi ase koigena aboni hangibi janai di ase.
A total of 45,000 tons of illegally mined coal was seized in Meghalaya's East Jentia Hill district after a high court pulled up the state government for its failure to check illegal mining. Over 50,000 tons of coal was seized during the last 3 weeks. Out of this, 45,000 tons was found to be illegal, while illegal papers were available for 5,000 tons of coal. A report has been made and will be submitted to district court for auction. The Twitter account of Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister's office had been restored after it was briefly hacked on Saturday. The breach came to light when unknown hackers used the CMO Twitter handle to publish a post based on tutorial how to turn your BAYC animated on Twitter. In addition, a cartoonist Twitter picture was used as profile picture on the UP CMO account. The hacker also posted a thread of some random tweets on the UP CMO account. Aam Aadmi Party receives a big jolt in Himachal Pradesh after its state unit president Anup Kesari, General Secretary Organisation Satish Thakur and UNA District Chief Iqbal Singh joined BJP on Friday. Union Minister Anurag Thakur inducted the three leaders at BJP's National President JB Nadda's residence in the National Chapel. It is to be mentioned that Aam Aadmi Party is now eyeing Himachal Pradesh after a thumping victory in Punjab. Notably, assembly elections in Himachal Pradesh is scheduled to be taken place in December this year, and Aam Aadmi Party is set to contest in all 68 seats. A Pakistani anti-terror court on Saturday sentenced the 26/11 mastermind Hafiz Saeed to jail for 31 years. Saeed, founder of the terror group Lashkar-e-Taiba and chief Jamaat Undawa, was sentenced in 2 cases. The court has ordered all its assets to be seized and fined. The UN designated terrorist of 340,000, a mosque and the madrasa, which was allegedly built by Saeed, will be taken over as well. Union Home Minister Amit Shah pitched for Hindi language provoked trenchant criticism over Friday on opposition, calling it an assault on India's pluralism and move to impose Hindi imperialism. Congress leader Jairam Ramesh contended that Hindi is the official language and not the national language, as Rajnath Singh has noted in the parliament during his tenure as Home Minister. Trinamool said that the people of the country with much diversity will never accept such a thing, even when India's first Prime Minister Nehru said that Hindi will not be imposed on non-Hindi speaking states unless they are willing to accept it. The European Union on Friday imposed a fresh round of sanctions on Russia as well as Belarus over its ongoing invasion of Russia. In the 5th round of sanctions will target logistics sector of Russian economy as well as the trade between Russia and the EU. The sanctions ban Russia and Belarusian road transport vehicles from transiting within the EU within the expectations of transport carrying goods like pharmaceutical, medicine, agriculture and food products, including wheat. Sanctions on JET fuel, quantum computers and advanced semiconductors, high-end electronics software has been banned. The European Union has imposed sanctions on Russian President Vladimir Putin's 2 adult daughters. EU included Maria Voronosova and Katerina Tikhnova in its updated latest individual facing an assets of freezing and travel ban. Notably, these sanctions came as part of a new package of measures targeting Russia's economy, businessmen and oligarchs in retaliation for the Kremlin's invasion of Ukraine. America, Britain and other allies agreed to supply new and heavier weapons to Ukraine as Kyiv requests to be immediate reinforcement in its struggle against Russia. In this regard, America has vowed not to let anything stand in its way or supplying weapons to Ukraine, with hopes that new weapons will defeat Vladimir Putin's barbaric invasion. The decision was taken up at a summit in Brussels to accelerate arms deliverance in the wake of the atrocities in Bucha, near Kyiv. 132 bodies have been found at a mass grave in Ukraine's Mariakiv town, located in 50 kilometers west of capital Kyiv on Friday. Besides the bodies of the mass grave, corpses were also found in the streets of the town. According to sources, 40% of the entire town, including homes and apartments, buildings, hospital and kindergarten, has been destroyed, and many of the buildings cannot be restored. According to the mayor, 15,000 people lived in Makariv before its Russian began invasion on February 24, and now less than 1,000 remains. The development comes after a week after another mass grave containing more than 300 bodies were found in Bucha city in Kyiv region. Pakistan's Prime Minister is set to face no trust vote on Saturday at the National Assembly in a big blow to Pakistan's Prime Minister Imran Khan's plans of fresh elections. The country's Supreme Court on Thursday restored the National Assembly's days after it was dissolved by President Arif Alvi without allying no trust voting against Khan. After an unprecedented rejection by the Deputy Speaker of no confidence motion last week, massive criticism followed, with opposition leader calling the move unconstitutional. Reportedly, sessions of the National Assembly was being called at 11 a.m. IST. Will Smith has been banned from attending the Oscar for the next 10 years after slapping comedian Chris Rock on stage mid-ceremony. The announcement was made on Friday. Smith will not be permitted to attend any other events held by Academy of the Motion Picture and Arts Science over the next decade. The board decision set out in a letter from the Academy chiefs did not revoke the Best Actor award. Smith won his role in King Richards, and no mention of bans on future Oscar nominations has been made as well. That is all for now. Thank you for tuning in. For more updates, keep watching Nltv.
New YY Dynamite Instant Noodles. It's extra spicy. Taste that will blow your mind.
Itu teng to nipko touch brand laka hana